4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to In the Mix Africa. I'm your host, Ashwin Betty. It's been a fantastic week for African football. We're not even just talking about the World Cup qualifiers. Exciting things are happening everywhere. And as you know, we like to stay and keep you in the mix when it comes to the beautiful game. Welcome to the show. Keep in mind, today is going to be a lovely one because we've got a Brave Warriors legend, none out there, in the house, in the mix. Africa. It's time for us to kick off the only way we know how. You see, I'm already getting flustered. Why? Because there's a legend sitting right next to me, Mr. Alfred Ndyenge, Brave Warriors legend himself, right here to help us talk about football with that kind of expertise, with that twang, with that je ne sais quoi that is needed when you're talking about the beautiful sport. Alfred, how's it going, sir?
I'm great, Ashwin. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it been, for football?
Yeah, football to say, but sports in general. And when you look into the fights that are going on from social media into the administration offices, it's all over. Yeah. When you talk about international football, you're looking at qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, and then you have youth football with the under-20 World Cup underway. There's a lot been happening in football. You're
Absolutely. Right. And you know, you have represented this great nation. And recently you were in Botswana as well for the Legends game. How was that?
Oh, that was a magnificent outing. I mean, it brought back the years. Yeah, I mean, you just could feel the thrill of the supporters being there, chanting for your name, chanting for the best they have seen in you previously, yes. But I was saying in an interview there in Botswana in Gaborone in Francistown to say, you know, the mind cannot apply what the body can do, or vice versa. So, however,
but you know, I have to be honest. You're in much better shape than myself. You know, without a doubt. If we had to play a football game of shirts and skins, first of all, I'm definitely wearing a shirt because the skin has got a belly to it. But I have to say. What does it actually take for guys like you to stay fit, when you're on this end of your career?
I mean, it's to stay relevant into the game. Stay relevant is definitely picking up on what you have learned into the game. Number one, this thing that you call a body is a massive asset to you as a human being. You have to look after it. Whether it's how you eat, how you rest it, how you expose it to certain avenues of this world. I'm not saying about alcohol or drugs or whatever it is, but for you to keep it in a shape of this magnitude, definitely you have to tone down on certain things. And knowing that you are aging, you have to protect that age within the body.
Yes.
So that's what we do to keep it where it is right now.
You know what? If you are a football player up and coming, the legends are telling you, take care of your body. Don't come to the clubs with us. We don't want to see you there. Go to the field and work on yourself, okay? Something else, Alfred, that you mentioned was the importance of food. Now, on In the Mix Africa, that is something we absolutely care about, which is why Patricia is waiting for you on the other end so you guys can get to the braaiing. And when you come back, we're going to dig into what's happening with regards to Namibian football as a whole. We can touch on some international sport, and I always ask everybody who their favorite English Premier League club is. I'm not going to ask that yet. All right, stay with In the Mix Africa.
Welcome viewers to my Braai Corner. Thank you, Alfie, for joining me on this side. I think you and Ashwin had enough to talk now. Now it's time to do the food section of today.
Yeah.
Before we start, we have lamb chops on the menu today, a lemon and mint, but we changed it to herbs. Lemon and herb lamb chops. If you could choose what we would have today, what would have been on our menu today? If you had to decide.
No, I'm gonna go with it definitely because it's going down to weekend, so
Yeah.
you're prepping yourself into a braai mode. So Thursday, it's a mini
getting
braai.
into the right mindset, yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
So-
true. So Alfie, tell us more. You and Ashwin had your technical talk there. You guys spoke about what's happening, what's been happening. But I just want to know, for you, where did this love for football come from?
Love for football, I mean, this is self-taught from the neighborhood. I mean, when you're growing up, you look at football, we have seen football being idolized back in the day. And it's a sport that unifies people or unite people. And it's a sport that speaks a language that is spoken worldwide.
It's like a universal language.
Yeah.
It's like
So
music.
It's like
for example,
music.
yeah.
So sports, football per se, you don't need to speak a certain language. You just
Yeah.
need to play it, and it conveys the message.
Okay, that is actually a beautiful description. So if we could take football out of the picture just for a second, what other sports have you tried or would you like to try if someone came to you and say, no more football ever?
No more football.
What other sport would you go into?
I was actually very privileged to be exposed to probably 7 different sports codes.
Phew.
I've been an athlete, track and field. I've done volleyball, I've done basketball, I've done football, then golf. My second love is golf.
Okay.
When I was growing up, it was either going to be football or golf.
Surprisingly, we've had a lot of football players that would say golf is the second option. Maybe there's a link between the two sports codes that we don't know of, because for a majority of football players to say golf as the second option, there must be something in the air between golfers and football players.
The technicalities are more related.
Okay.
In football, you have to keep your eye on the ball. In golf, the same. And then the discipline is definitely enormous between the two sports.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not the expert in either sports, but I do understand that logic. So viewers, while me and Alfie finish up our, I keep on wanting to say mint, it's Tina, our lemon and herb lamb chops, we're going to head over to JSB and then of course take a trip to Short Corner before we all come together and get to eat this delicious food. So do not move a muscle. We will be right back after this.
So, as we all know, the international break is on. There's no club football, but nonetheless, we are still here to help you guys make some money. Brian Munango, joined by my professional tipster here, the guy who helps me make some good money, Jevon Wilson. Jevon, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, could have been better. As I said earlier, off the camera, Barcelona disappointed with a bet slip last week, losing 4-1 to Sevilla. So that could have been a very good payout to our punters. But unfortunately, did not happen, so we'll try again this week.
Okay, I think what we'll do from now on is we'll try and be more informative with the bet slips after the week. After we place them, we'll try and show you guys how they went, because that Barca should have come through, and that was a good payout, more than $6,000 million.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, now
It
Jevon, let us know a good win for Manchester United before the international break, commanding 2-0 win against Sunderland. You predicted the win, of course. Tell me how you're looking forward to the international break.
Look, it was a much needed win, I think, for the coach as well. We need to build now that momentum. It's going to be difficult. Coming back from the international break, you have to face Liverpool at Anfield. It's not going to be an easy task.
Yeah.
But also, with that said, Liverpool haven't been that convincing this season either.
Yeah.
We saw it against Chelsea. So yeah, we're looking forward to when the league commences again. A couple of international friendlies or qualifiers for our nation as well. Hopefully we can still make it through to the playoffs there. So we hope.
There's hope.
There's still hope. Obviously, you have to be patriotic. We have to be hopeful.
Okay, cool. There's one more match left. We'll talk about that match a little bit later. I think I want to start off with your bet slip. You went with 6 games for this one. A few friendlies in the mix, so it will be coming up shortly. So run me through it. A lot of odds there. $100 for 2K.
Yeah, well, we know South America, that's a mini World Cup over there. Mexico, Colombia, straightforward, both teams to score. I think that's a given. I think South Africa will have the better hand over Zimbabwe, hopeful. In terms of that, 3 points being deducted from them will probably give them some fire in the belly.
Yeah.
Japan, hosting Paraguay, I think Japan can easily get that win. Same for Brazil, away to Korea Republic. And then I think Sweden, Switzerland also, it's both teams to score. I think that's a thrilling match. And then I'll go with Bosnia. As you see, the odds are very low there, up against Cyprus.
I'm going to say it now while the bet slip is still on the screen. Viewers, make sure to jump on this one. I didn't see your bet slip prior, but now that I'm having a look at it, I like it very much. Except the Mexico-Colombia game. I think that Colombia wins that game, but I'm going to sit on the fence for that one. If we have a look at mine, there's a lot of things that are similar to yours, but I like the fact that you went with Japan, the good odds at 1.8, and the same with Brazil. Mine is built up more like this. I think South Africa beats Zimbabwe. That's for certain. Zim have not been great in the World Cup qualifiers. I think there's either last or second last. Ishwan will finish me for this one. But Zimbabwe haven't been doing great. And they sit at the bottom of the log. I think they're either last or second last. So I'm going with SA to win the game, but I don't think there'll be more than 3 goals in the match. I think Nigeria beat Lesotho with more than 2 goals. They have a lot of strikers that are firing up front. Malta and Netherlands, I'm going to go for more than 1 goal in the first half. Germany and Luxembourg, I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to close it off with Northern Macedonia, also conceding more than 1 goal in the first half from Belgium. I like the first half odds because it comes up a lot. I have 14 odds. I'm going to go 200 for 3.1.
Yeah, I like the bet slip a lot. I think the punters need to jump onto that ASAP.
Cool. So one bet that I can give you guys is if you want to play it safe, go for the 2 games that are on Jevon's bet slip. I think for Brazil and for Japan, those 2 games bring you in at odds of 3. If you want to be risky, put down $500. You get 1.5, or put down 1,000. You get 3K. Cool. Before we do leave, we of course have a big match that's up and coming. This one is up on JSB. You can walk away with $5,000 in free bets. Jev, this is another big one. This is the last one, the final hurdle before the guys can maybe get into any knockout stages.
Yeah.
Try and still keep that dream alive of qualifying for the World Cup. Tunisia, we have beat them before in AFCON, but I think they did beat us in the... I think we drew in the qualifiers. But tell us, what are your thoughts on this one?
Namibia to win. I mean, we have nothing much, to lose. We have to throw everything but the kitchen sink. So I think that we have to go out there, show our best. We back the boys, we back the coach, and we look forward to an outstanding match. As you say, it's a match of the week, 5,000 in free bets. All you need to do is predict the score, tag 3 friends, and then mention it onto your story, and then you're into the competition.
You can do that on Instagram or on Facebook. For this one, I think I'm going to sit on the fence. Tunisia are on top of the group, and they are on top of the group not for Mahala. They have been dominating. They beat Liberia 3-0. So I'm going to say a comfortable win for Liberia, but I'm going to keep it close. I'm going to say 1-0. I don't think we'll score in that match. I don't think we'll score in that match. So I'm going to say 1-0. But yeah, I think that's all the time that we do have for the punters. Anything else you'd like to leave them with?
Yeah, I would like to say that our massive 100 million Namibian dollar soccer 13 pool is coming up. So be prepared for that 25th of October, 2025. Massive day in football. We only have 4 Premier League games involved in that fixture list out of the 13. It's going to be an interesting fixture list once it comes out. So yeah, be prepared and save some money up for that.
25th, there you have it. Over 100 million, eh?
Yeah, correct.
If you get that pool, if you win it 1 minute, you walk away with 60.
62 million if you're the only winner.
You are set for life, bruh. But nonetheless, viewers, that's all the time that we do have for you on this one. Hopefully, you did take note of the betting slips that we do have for you. Play around with those, win yourself some money, and we'll be seeing you next week. Same time, same place, and goodbye from us.
So today's short corner is very, very interesting. Hayes Kanup went to Kenya and bought a 4th division team. And since then, he's been trying to help them go up the ranks. It's a beautiful, wonderful story of what it truly means to invest in African football. Enjoy.
8 months ago, I bought a 5th division professional football club based in Nairobi, Kenya. I came in midway through the season. We were rock bottom on the table, morale was lower than ever, and nobody had any hope for the future. But as a new owner, I was determined to turn things around. And despite an impressive 8-win, 2-draw, and 4-loss final run to end the season, we were relegated back to County League, the 6th division of Kenyan football. Clearly, something needed to change. We needed to build something bigger, a new team. But not just any team, a super team. A team so good it would rival the success of legendary clubs like Pep's Barcelona, Alex Ferguson's Manchester United, and ultimately the Galacticos of Real Madrid. So that is exactly what I did. Midway through the offseason, I got on a plane, flew to Nairobi, and began building. In just 8 days, with the help of our staff and the community, we put together a squad so strong, some are already calling it the best 6th division side in Kenyan history. And in this video, I'm covering the entire trip from radio shows to national news appearances, open trials to up-and-coming superstars, and so much more. This is Road to the Kenyan Premier League. And we have some unexpected big news. The FKF, which is the Kenyan Football Federation, has granted us a playoff match to stay in the 5th division and actually avoid relegation. So that's a huge opportunity for us. It's taking place the first weekend in October. So depending on when you're watching this, we might be still in regional, which is the 5th division. So keep an eye out for that announcement. We'll see what happens. But like I said, we have a very, very strong squad. So I'm hoping that it goes well. But regardless of where we end up, the team we have now might be the best in lower division history.
It's time for Full Time, where we really get into the full conversation with regards to everything happening football-wise. Now, as usual, Brian finds a way to utter utterances of sheer blasphemy. He does it with Manchester United. I thought, much like the English Premier League clubs, I would also be able to enjoy the international break. But as you heard with Jevon right now, he said Zimbabwe doesn't stand a chance against South Africa. And I have a problem with that. Brian can't stop gaslighting me. So let's talk to the legend. Let's get the real reference point from a man who has worn national colors, not just Manchester United red. A man who's wearing a cap, who didn't come with dreadlocks to the show. I love dreadlocks. I used to have dreadlocks, but I'm just trying to make a point here. Mr. Alfred Ndyenge, South Africa versus Zimbabwe, World Cup qualifier. Who do you think is going to take it?
I'll be honest with you. I've looked at the club, the squads that are called up. I mean, you have Kamabiliat, you have Musonda Knowledge, and then the brother and then you have Munetsi.
Yes,
I mean, this alone is experience that can compete with the current South African crop.
Yes.
Rating the Zimbabwean Premiership and the South African Premiership, when you look at clubs like Scotland FC, which have the majority players, you look into a team like Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs or Sundowns, where most of the dominant players are foreign-based players.
In fact,
So
the most dominant player.
the most dominant,
Peter Shalulile.
our own. So, I mean, when you look in pound for pound my ratings in South Africa and Zimbabwe, I stand for Zimbabwe. And this has, it comes with history for me. Yeah, it's nothing that I'm riding on the current form, because I always believe the more experience you have, the extra trick or two you have than in the inexperienced person. And this defines the odds right now between Zimbabwe and South Africa, that I stand for Zimbabwe.
You know, when unity happens amongst Africans, we must celebrate it.
And
What
Brian,
were the
sorry for
chances of me being backed up? Oh, so this is fantastic. But you know, let's talk about Namibian football before we wrap it up, as Patty brings this wonderful food. We all wish Zimbabwe and Namibia, everyone's got work to do. These guys aren't playing at home.
Yeah.
A couple of tips for how we can move forward as a nation with regards to football, our stadiums, and its development. Because other nations are moving very fast. Let's not talk more North Africa. They've got a stadium for every cough. You know what I mean? It's always building. But these guys, who we know are very good, people like Peter Shalulile putting them on the map, Munetsi, an English Premier League player. I don't know if you know about that, South Africa. These guys are used to playing in quality stadiums, and they're more than happy to represent their nations. How important is it for us to make sure that they can play at home?
Ashwin, I reiterate, infrastructure development is key. And then it must be also alluded to the primary custodians, who are the politicians, to say, when you invest in certain infrastructures in the country, it gives you that economical boost immediately. And when you look into the traffic in terms of
Foot traffic going through
foot
the door.
traffic
Yes.
into the country or out of the country, this is where you measure the amount of money you take out of your country to put into the other country. However, yes, it's a African economy what
Yes.
you're looking into,
Yes,
but
yes.
then you are disabling your own
Yes.
for you to sustain the future.
So
But
priorities need to
priority
be lined up.
is
Yes.
infrastructure development in your own country.
All right. Now, Patty, we don't have much time. And I don't think I need much time to finish this food, because it looks delicious. What did you and Alfred prepare?
Like I told Alfred, it started off following the recipe and then it just,
Oh, wonderful.
Just
no,
went
no,
all
that's okay.
directions.
That's been happening. No, Patricia, such a thing is going to be taking part, because currently South Africa is following the recipe of Brian, where they think they're going to win. And then it changes for the better. Tell us more.
okay, so it started off as a lemon and mint lamb chops, but now it's a lemon and herb with a little bit of chili. Because of course
right.
it's me, chili is involved
All
always.
right. Wonderful, wonderful. I am excited. Mr. Alfred, I hope your braaiing is as good as your football.
I mean, this is protein for me, and I make sure that the protein is at a good level of eatery. So
Yeah, it's only footballers who they're not even saying food here. He's saying protein, carbs, calories. All right, let's dig in, sir. So we've had Mr. Alfred Ndyenge right here talking Namibian football, talking about his career, talking about the World Cup qualifiers, and talking about how important it is for us to build our infrastructure. And you know what? He also spoke about the importance of good food, which is why we trust that the good people here made it happen for us. Patricia, thank you very much. Let me take a bite first, because thank you very much, Patricia. This is very delicious. Thank you for joining us. This has been the one and only show in the Mix Africa.